Okay then, so we are going to do one, and hopefully this is actually going to be quick. I keep saying that these are going to be quick compared to the last one, but they somehow seem to manage to take up the same amount of time as the last one, if not longer. So this one really is, hopefully, maybe, possibly going to be quick. So what I'm talking about today is just how to get gold and how to collect items the most efficiently. So gold is, so you've got your Xray store, and you can use V-Bucks in this store as well, and you've got your loot llama one, which depends on whichever event/dungeon is running at the minute. So Fortnite Mares is the one right now. However, in the items you get these two stores. So one is the event store that is linked to the specific event, which is the Hexylvania Ventures, which what all this stuff is to do with. And you can see some of the stuff. Good Jonesy board. Actually scroll this way, yeah, it's a bit less noisy. Ragnarok, Gunblazer Southie, and some really cool looking random weapons. And on the right hand side here, you get the weekly items, which refresh every what day is it? Every Wednesday at about 8 PM. Is that? Yeah, it's about 8 PM Eastern time. So that's like the reset time in inverted commas, which you get on Fortnite Battle Royale as well. So there are two things, I guess, to talk about. One is how do you get gold quickly? What's the best way of getting gold? And two, what should you use your gold on? Because to be honest, the gold is not that, flowing. It's not like we're talking Scrooge McDuck in a vault full of gold, but it's a constant source in almost every mission. So you can do normal missions. We'll start off first by just go to no, they're not Pennsylvania. That's not what that'll do. So you can go to any mission randomly. Hopefully we're not going to actually come to a mission by mistake here. And you can see each one has gold, right? So obviously if you do missions, you get gold. Yeah, play the game, you get resources. Shocker. Now, that's the simplest way of getting it, but it's not the most efficient by far. The next way of looking at it is by dungeons. So dungeons is probably the single best way to get gold. Now, you're going to say, wow dude, the rewards basically say dungeon rewards. How do you know that they're the best? And as it says here, you get XP, you get event tickets, you get gold, and you get rare items based on how far and what level and so on and so on. And the key bit is that inside each of these, and I think it's in the quest log, you can see it more carefully, is that if you do certain things, you get gold. These ones here in particular. So if you do your daily one, you get some gold straight up, 150 gold. Yay. Second thing, if you go through the missions and you smash 100 urns, firstly your game freezes, which is great. Okay, there we go. Firstly, you get some candy, which is good for getting Fortnite llamas, or llamas of whatever type, depending if we're looking at the future, and this is actually a Fortnite Frost Night event dungeon, which is possible, because this is the second time dungeons have been back in the game. So, you get your 100 urns, you get 100 candy, great. But the other thing is that if you do 100 urns, you also get gold for every single onion brick, and you get like 200 to 250 gold per mission by breaking urns. Now that's not bad. If you then add in, I think, is it in, yeah, this one here. So we've got mini bosses here. Every mini boss you kill, I think, drops something like 25 gold as well. So you're probably hitting in a mini boss once every couple of missions, roughly, or 2 every 3, that kind of thing. They come up kind of often. The longer you take, the more they pop up. And each time you kill one, they give you, I think it's like 20 to 30 gold, 25 gold. So you also get candy as well, which gets you 4 night llamas again, all stacking up, all massive big farming for resources type thing. So if you play your daily, you get your gold. If you do your urns every mission, you get your 250-ish gold. If you do your mini bosses, you get, say, one mini boss per time, you get another 25 gold. If you then beat the final boss, which you'd hopefully do so, if you want to finish your quest, you get something like 50 gold, I think it is, for being the final boss. I need to check that at some point, but you get a bunch of gold drops if you kill whatever is at the end. Of course, if you do the grotto, that drops 4 bosses, so 4 lots of gold, which would be better, but it is a bit more of a tricky event, so maybe you don't want to do that. So dungeons is by far the most efficient way to get gold. The added thing, of course, is that if you look at the map, and you can do one of the tight ones, so like this one here. If you do a melee timed crypt, that's less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes to get 250 gold for the straight up urns, because if you do it as a 4 multiplayer thing especially, you can have one person running through trying to get the shadow key, one person trying to get the husks down, and 2 people initially trying to get as many urns as possible as quickly as possible. Now you can do a crypt in about 4.5 minutes if you're particularly good. I usually go for like 7 minutes ish if I'm doing it particularly seriously. 10 minutes is to cut off the melee time. If you do it in something like 7 minutes, you can probably get the 250 gold for the urns. You can probably get the 50 gold at the end for killing the boss. You can probably get one of the other ones as well, so another 25 gold so if you're killing a mini boss, and then suddenly you're looking at 300 to 350 gold per crypt. And if we're taking less than 10 minutes per time, it's at an hour, it means you can easily get 1500 to 2000 gold, depending how efficient you are. And then suddenly they must be cool, because if we look back at the store here, these things, they're expensive, they're kind of expensive. He was 3200 gold. This one I think was 1600 gold, 2800 gold I want to say that is for the legendary heroes. These things, you can buy them pretty quickly by doing an hour of dungeons. Easy, right? We're talking about easy missions. This one is trivial, with 4 players especially. And we're talking level 50. I'm not doing, super high level. I can do level 71 as well, but we can, we're not talking about doing level 140s here. We're talking about doing level 50s, or whatever it is level you're at, and you can still get 200 to 400 gold per mission if you have 4 people doing it, and you're kind of working as a team, with some friends, all coordinated together. Now, the last way of getting gold, I guess, really well, which is, I guess, kind of obvious for most people, but it's well worth saying just the end, is we'll look at Canny Valley, because it's probably the most obvious one, is that you get them in the store one. So if you do, I gotta find one now, of course. Oh, you can't find one now, you want one. Wow. Just kicking me when I'm down. Excellent. So you can, of course, because if you can't find them, you can, of course, get gold from doing elemental storms, mutant storms, which come later on in the game, or middle way of the game, which is later on in the game. And some of the other repeatable quests, side quests, if I get that right, they do actually, if I scroll down, I need to find out exactly which one they are now, but some of these do actually give you, give you Xray tokens apparently. I can't find any of the gold ones, but I really want one. But certainly, if you do the storms one, you do get gold, 100 gold extra every single time, and you get the gold from finishing the mission, and you get extra gold because it's a usually got a mini boss. The mini bosses drop extra gold in normal missions as they do in the dungeons, so that's all fine and dandy. So, what should you use your gold on? Well, first things first, if you think things in the event store are going to go soon, get those, because they can't come back for another year or 2 years depending on the event. They're going to take a while to come back, so if you want something from the event store, that is your primary goal always. The things on the right hand side here, these will come back periodically throughout the course of weeks and months, but on the left will be at least a year for the next time. So if you want Dire right now, he's a pretty terrible hero, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend it. He was 3,200. But if you want him, get him now, because he won't be back for ages. His, just as I'm doing it here, his ability is pretty terrible, but whatever, that's what he is, so that's what he is. Next, definitely make sure you get all the items, like I said, heroes. Secondly, get the armory slots. The armory slots are crucial when you get further in the game. It might seem really early on that you're never going to max out these slots because you've got 300, 200, whatever it is at the start of the game. But you pick up characters really quickly and you don't want to book everything in the collection book. So, every single event you're picking up more weapons, every single event you're picking up more heroes, and you don't always want to use them and put them in their collection, so you need more slots. So definitely get those quite early on. Now, if like me, you're pretty efficient at getting gold, and you've got all the things you want from the event store, and you're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to get from the other side. So, obviously get weapons if you need them. So, for example, the Vinitech Burst, I do not need that weapon. It looks really cool, actually, I'll be honest, that's pretty cool. But I don't need that weapon, so that's cool. But if you need it, get the weapons. I think, did I get one of the ones? Let's see right at the bottom. Yeah, I got the Wicked Wind for my collection book. Definitely. And I also need the Plasma Specialist Isa for my collection book, so I got her. If you use Defenders, get Defenders. I'm not really a big fan of Defenders, so I only get them for the collection book, but I don't really need them very much. Now, what are the resources you need. So the next most important one, please, if you have the gold, always get this one here, because this one is so important for so many bits of getting new heroes. So, for example, we just look at the collection book and we look at, oh, I don't know. Yeah, actually, she's flashing there when I click on her. Fruit hero, you need them there. So, they come up once a week. You get, I think it's 10 of them. So you get 75 actually per week, something like that. Maybe missing more than that, I don't remember. You need those for these heroes if you want to collect them before you actually find them in llamas. Really, really, really important to do it, to get them that way. The second thing that's important for them is if you look at schematics, I'll just pick this one here. I don't really want to upgrade this, but we can show it here. If you increase rarity, you need the legendary flux here. So again, I've got loads of schematic XP and decent numbers of rain and trap designs, but I've got no legendary flux, or very little legendary flux. So legendary flux should be your second goal after getting whatever items it is that you've not got before for your book. Definitely get this. And then at that point, it starts to become a little bit more of a what's interesting in your game, because after you've got legendary flux, which is super rare, and after you've got the heroes, which only come out every now and again, but like I said, they come out often, but every now and again, then it's up to you. So I mean, I could recommend getting rain, because rain is always important for evolving things. I could recommend getting some of the other bits for evolving, then later on in the game bits for evolving, but you will need them. So you can get them early and collect them up like I've been doing for some things, so it's well worth it. You get epic flux because, again, if you want to unlock heroes or level up things from rare to epic, or if you want to unlock epic heroes in particular from the book, or epic weapons, epic flux is what you need. Same with rare flux, as you saw before. Maybe if you saw my weapons research voucher video, though maybe this will come first, who knows. Maybe, depends how excited I get, but this is needed for researching or for buying those rare weapons early. You can do that. Perk ups are always useful because you always need to increase the perks of weapons once you get to the middle of the game to make them stronger. And exactly that point, survivors. I'm not really a big fan of epic survivors. I have literally 2,000 survivors. I don't have 2,000 survivors. I have a lot of survivors though. Let's quickly check. I've got a few of these guys. I've only got certain leaders. These two leaders are pretty useless because they already have matching leaders with the same rarity. But if you look at my normal survivors, I got loads I'm not level good because they're not useful. And to be honest, I try and focus just on the legendary ones now, because if you look at the squads, they make such a big difference in, let's see, that's a good example, because if you've got a matching leader with the same personality type, you can see the level difference is pretty big. It makes a big difference to the stats. For example, Fire Team Alpha is specific for offense, increasing your attack and also your shared attack as well. So it's way better to have legendary ones than epic ones. So I would not recommend epic survivors personally, but if you're low on survivors, you haven't got many yet, then it's a good place to be. Of course, the place to get survivors, I'm not going to go into this too much now, but Fortnite, bears, llamas, whatever llamas it is, for whatever event it is, they are the best way to get survivors of epic or legendary value quickly. Okay. So I think that's it about gold and so on. It's actually slightly shorter. I was actually not lying. It is about 2 minutes shorter than I have been managing to drone on for. So if you find that useful, put a like up. But if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask and put them below. And hopefully I will see you guys all next time for another exciting video about Fortnite Save the World.